welcome to your Pilates video. All you need for this one is your mat. That's it. And then we can get right into it by coming all the way down. We're going to start off with a little warm up and then we'll get into the good stuff. So come on around with me when you're ready. We're going to take it again all the way down on our back. So you want to start to come down one notch at a time. Let's start to get into that Pilates rhythm now. So that means we're slowing it down. We're going to be working with resistance, working with lots of control. And let's go ahead and place our hands over our stomach. We're going to walk those feet into a comfortable place. And let's start with that Pilates breathing. So that's going to mean we're going to inhale through the nose, and then we're going to take a big deep breath out through the mouth. As you inhale, you want to feel your belly rise. And as you exhale, you're going to feel that core start to engage by pressing that navel down and into the mat. So we can inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. So you can really get the most out of each core exercise. That's what's a great part about breathing out, taking those big, deep breath exhales. Joseph Pilates designed this breathing so they can really wring air out of your lungs and bring in energy throughout your whole body and connect you to the deepest layers of your core. So as we move, you want to try to stay connected to this deep breathing. I want you to get the most out of these 30 minutes, and this is a great way to do that. You're also going to be able to feel a lot more energized if you can focus and stay connected to that breath. Let's do 2 more. Inhale and exhale. And 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Let it go. Let's go and reach those arms up towards the ceiling. Palms are facing in. As you exhale, you're going to strongly press those arms down to a hover. Inhale to lift and exhale to press down. So even though head shoulders aren't lifting, you want to feel lots of activity in that center. So you're actively pressing the navel down into the mat. Ooh, you're firing up through that center. You're warming up through those arms. You're starting to feel those shoulders really press down into the mat. So you're really getting that feeling of resistance, of control. And when you're ready, you can start to curl head, shoulders up, and then tap head, shoulders back down. Breathing out as you lift. Now let's talk about where we're looking. Reminder here that gaze informs the spine. I love saying that because it's just the easiest way for you to remember that where you're looking really does matter. And I want to make sure you don't feel it in your lower back, your neck, your shoulders. So as we lift, you want to look right towards the middle of your legs. So it's almost like you're saying, hi legs, every time you come up. And then every time we lower, we can feel long lengthen through that spine. Now, if you're feeling this is too much to get going, hands can always stay behind your head for a little extra support. What you're doing here is just connecting into that center. So you're thinking about melting that belly button down into the mat with every lift of your upper body. Taking again that big deep breath out. And let's do our last one. You're going to hold up here, isometric hold. You're just going to reach the arms up and then exhale to that hover. Feeling those hips planted on the mat so you're not wobbling back and forth. We've got that isolation working for us, and ooh, feel that core really start to fire up here as well. And now hold it here. Let's face those palms in, and then from here start to lift on up. Find that extra little lift by digging to the deepest layer of your center. So you're thinking about actually engaging just below that belly button to really wake up that core. Ooh, this feels so good. You're like, good morning, body, right? Or afternoon or evening, whenever you're doing this. For me, I'm doing it in the morning, so I'm just waking up those core muscles. I'm saying, hello, core muscles, I remember you. And let's lift up for 4, for 3, for 2, and then come on down. Bring arms, head, shoulders onto the mat. Let's bring one leg up to tabletop and then bring the other leg up. So before we get into it, let's get that back in the correct position. So that means we're going to actually take a slight tuck in our pelvis. So you're going to think about the tops of your hips connecting to your lower rib cage, and then the knees staying right over those hips. So the second those knees come into our chest, we're going to lose that activity in our lower core, and I want to make sure we're getting the transverse abdominis working. So you're going to keep those knees right over your hips, and just this alone is going to fire up that center. So same thing to get started here. We're going to reach those arms back and then lift those arms to the ceiling. But what I mean by same thing as when we first got started is it's just those arms that are moving. Everything else is staying the same. Except we're taking a big deep breath out and we're feeling that core engage as those arms lift to the center. So if you have a friend watching you right now, and be like, this looks like you're not doing anything, super easy. But I know that you know that's not the case because we're working correctly. We're feeling so much work in that center just to move the arm back and up correctly. All about that alignment so that you can really feel the most out of each movement. Let's go 2 more. And now from here, you're going to go ahead and lift head, shoulders up, and you're going to reach those arms to a full hover. Inhale, take it back, and then exhale, bring those arms to a hover. And again, you're going to look right towards the middle of your legs. Now, if you feel like you're straining, or where they're straining in the front of your hip flexors, I would say keep those feet flat to the mat. Again, I don't want you to feel tension there in those hip flexors, fronts of your legs. I want you to feel it in your center instead. Yes, those legs are active because they're staying in the correct position, and that takes work. But not because we're squeezing or gripping our thighs. Those inner thighs are engaged, but we're going to let them fire up all on their own. I'm going to take all that extra tension and add it to our core. Now, last one here, hold here. Palms face down, fingertips are going to reach forward past those legs, and let's exhale to lift. Feel those shoulders sliding down your back, those fingertips reaching towards the very front edge of the mat, almost as though I'm there, pulling your hands towards the edge of the mat. Again, inner thighs kissing together. We're reaching away with those arms. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and from here, we're going to tap one leg down, palms are going to face in, and you're going to lower, and then exhale to lift. Reaching from one leg to the other. Now, head, shoulders can always stay down. And if you don't believe me, give this a check. Trust me, you will still feel it. Moving from a place where you can stay in control and you don't start to feel like those shoulders, the neck starts to tense up and take over. Let's go for our last 2. And on this final one, I want you to hold it up here. Again, fingertips reach forward and start to pulse it out. And this time, extend both legs up towards the ceiling. Reach those arms to the ceiling. And if you can, start to lift that seat off the mat. And oh yes, if we weren't feeling those low ups before, we are going to get them now. Looking towards the middle of those legs. Toes reaching through the ceiling, not pressing back. It's okay to keep those knees bent. It's okay to even cross at those ankles for more of a modified version, keeping head, shoulders down as well. Wherever you are, we're going to lift up for 8, 7. Have you forgotten about that breath? Reconnect into it now for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Press those legs in. Ooh. Give those legs a little rock from side to side. Cross those ankles, and let's come on up. So I always like to make sure that we give that back a stretch after all that core work, because that can be a lot. So let's take a moment to bring those heels together, toes apart. We're going to come into a long diamond. So that means those heels are far away from those hips. We're going to reach one arm all the way up to the ceiling, take a big lift up, and then an arch to the side. Ooh, that's going to feel so nice for the side of our waist. And And then same thing, other side, taking an inhale to lift and exhale to press. Now, I want you to think about pressing that opposite seat down into the mat. Oh yes, oh my gosh, that's gonna give you such a deeper stretch. And then same thing other side. So I don't wanna waste your time. I know it's precious. And again, that's another reason why I keep coming back into that alignment, into that form. Again, I want you to get the most even out of these stretches here because they are active stretches. We're still reaching, we're still working. And then same thing other side. Inhale and exhale. Now from here, we're gonna take a slight rotation, rotating your chest down towards your leg. And again, I want you to think about that opposite seat pressing into the mat. Just that a little adjustment means everything. Arch back over to the side and then lift on up. Inhale, exhale, reach. Then let's take that slight rotation, rotating your chest down towards your leg, opposite seat glued to the mat. Let's arch back over and lift. From here, walk those fingertips out to the side. Drop your head right between those legs, maybe giving your head even a little shake from side to side. No tension there. And then lift on up. So good. So from here, I want you to go and bring those feet flat to the mat. We're gonna extend one leg out. And then all we're gonna do is reach those arms towards the back edge of the mat. So shoulders back, chest lifted, core engaged, and that leg is gonna reach out. Notice that leg is gonna stay parallel. So those toes are gonna stay pressing forward. We're gonna stay lifted out of our hips, and that leg is gonna come just to about a hover. And that is really all you need to, oh my gosh, feel everything really working. Exhaling from the center first. You wanna make sure that supporting knee stays facing up to the ceiling. So we're thinking about lifting and reaching. Oh yes, just two more. Beautiful, now hold this leg up. We're gonna open it to the side and then press it in, getting into those inner and outer thighs. Exhaling as that leg comes in for 4. Go 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. I want you to walk those legs all the way in. Ooh, yeah, starting to get into those legs a little bit here. Inhale, lifting up tall, and then exhale, take that C curve. Inhale, lift, 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 and exhale, C curve. And same thing other side. You're gonna reach your other leg out in front of you. It's parallel. Those arms are gonna reach more towards the back edge of the mat. Shoulders drop, chest lifted, and let's go for it. Exhale, reach. Make sure you're looking forward. You have that dancer posture working for you. So crown of your head is lifting up, gaze at eye level, supporting me up towards the ceiling, and core is lifting off of those hips. 2 more. And now on this last one, I want you to hold this leg up. We're gonna open the leg slightly to the side and then exhale as this leg connects back in. Hello, inner thighs. Hello, work from that center. Let's go for 3, 2, and 1. Oh, so good. Go to walk those feet in. You're gonna lift up nice and tall. And then again, C curve away from those legs as you exhale. Exhaling out through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. And one more time. Beautiful. From here, we're gonna drop it down onto our elbows and we're gonna lift that chest up. So we just got into those legs. Let's keep working them. We're gonna bring one leg up towards the ceiling. Other leg's gonna come on out. From here, that top leg is gonna drop down and then you're gonna exhale as that leg lifts. Can you lift up through the upper body? Modified here, totally fine to keep those knees slightly bent. It's gonna make it definitely easier, but don't worry, you're still getting stronger in that center. You can even do this one all the way down on the mat. Head, shoulders down, just working from that leg, from that center to lift up and down. So either option is gonna be perfect because you're doing what's best for you. For 2, and now hold up. You're gonna exhale. Press that top leg into your chest. Think about moving that leg in from that center. Control it in for 4, for 3, for 2. And now let's switch it out. Other leg is up. Re-lift up through the upper body, reestablish that posture, and the top leg is gonna lower, and then exhale to lift. Oh yes, get a little shake in that center. Breathe it out like you're blowing out a bunch of candles on your birthday cake. Oh, I got a little whistle there. Let's go for 4. It's because my abs were shaking so much. Couldn't even control that breath. Yes. 2 more. And now from here, hold this leg up and now press this leg in by pressing into that center. Feel that control for 4, 3, 2, and let's press out from one leg and then the other. Don't let the tops of your legs take over. Think about, again, just pressing that leg in because you're pressing so much into that center for 8, 7, go for 4, for 3, for 2, you made it. Oh, so good. Come on up. Bring those legs out. Let's find a full stretch here. Reach those arms to the ceiling and then exhale, dive it forward. Let it go. You're giving your head a little shake from side to side. And then roll it on up. Oh my gosh, we definitely are getting everything working. Let's continue that by coming onto the side of our hip. So we're on that hip. We're on our elbow, shoulders dropped, chest is lifted, and we're gonna extend our leg out to the side. We're gonna start to get into that side seat. So you're just lowering this leg down and then lifting up to hip height. Again, chest is open here, but our weight is forward. Hips are facing forward. I'm gonna rotate that hip forward and not up and not back, right? Forward and down with that hip, just so we can really get the correct area. Again, we're trying to get here's the side of our head. And if you've been doing this for a while and you want to amp it up a little bit, just by placing your hand on your hip and lightly pressing against that lifted leg, it's going to give you a little extra resistance, and it's going to help you to get even deeper into those side glutes. Let's go for 2. Now hold this leg up. We're going to press the leg forward just slightly towards the front corner of the mat, and then exhale as the leg draws back to the side. Inhale forward, exhale to the side. It's okay if you reverse that breath. You just want to make sure you're moving consciously with that breath. I like to do on the toughest part. So for me, it's going to be as we press that leg back to the side, because I want to make sure those hips don't start to rock back and forth. And now hold this leg to the side, tap it down, and again, then just reach. Thinking more about length, less about that lift. And thinking about that length is actually going to be a really easy way for you to connect and stay connected to that center. Particularly just beneath that core. Every time you reach with that leg, those lower abs just don't even have a choice. They fire up. Let's go for 2. And now hold. This leg is going to press back slightly. You're going to feel that seat fire up, upper, middle, lower glutes. And then exhale as the leg comes to the side. Inhale back and exhale to the side. Yes, the leg is moving, but we're moving without rocking or shaking in those hips. So we're pressing that leg in by pulling into your center. Exhale. Navel towards the back of that spine. Let's go 2 more. Yes, and now hold this leg to a hover. You're gonna flex that foot, reach out to that heel, and start to pulse from there. Now check back in with that posture. You're gonna press that shoulder down even further, away from the ear. Yes, beautiful. Little lift here. Go for 4, 3, 2, and start to point those toes. You're gonna reach it forward and back. Exhale as that leg presses back. Keeping, again, that small range of motion. Firing up a little bit through the back side of that seat. And now go bring that leg back to the side. Flex that foot. Reach out that heel. Breathe it out to the very end. Oh, yes. Let's go. Final 8. As that leg reaches out, can it lift up just slightly higher than the hip? It's reaching so long that it starts to get a little bit more length, a little more height. For 4. For 3, for 2, you made it. Oh yeah, so good. Come on up, stack those legs, find that stretch up and over. Beautiful. Then go take that leg all the way around, hug that knee in. Ooh, oh my gosh, we're already down to the last 10 minutes. Ah, this class goes so fast. Hopefully you're thinking the same thing. So because we're at the finish line, we're heading towards the finish line, I want you to come back into the same kind of energy that you had at the start of the class, the same kind of intention that you had at the start of the class. And it was to get the most out of this, I'm sure. So trying to stay focused, stay connected in the present moment. It's easy to kind of let our minds wander on our to-do list, what we have to do when this is done, kind of getting through it. But this is the moment for you. You have earned this 30 minutes just because you're you and you deserve it. So try to stay present with me. I promise you, it really does make a difference when we can stay in our mind connected to our movement. So let's start to begin that connection right here by taking that breath with the movement. Exhaling as that leg lifts and thinking about engaging that spot to that core a little bit lower, just beneath that belly button, to wake up, reignite those transverse abdominal muscles. The toughest layer, but oh boy, do we get them here in Pilates, don't we? Then we got them in like the second exercise. Let's go for 2. And now hold. We're gonna press this leg just slightly forward and then exhale as it goes back to the side. So on this one, you wanna make sure those hips don't move. So that was why that range of motion is so small. So those hips don't start to take over. So we can continue to feel it in the side of our seat. We can continue to feel it in our center. And now let's hold this leg to the side, tap it down, and then again, reach it back out. Reach, reach, reach. We're reaching those toes through the wall. That opposite wall, reaching it out. Woo. Press those legs far away from you with every lift. And that hand is on that hip if you want more of a challenge. But modified, your hand is down. Even more modified, you can always be all the way down. Yes, you can even relax your head if that feels better on that supporting arm. Let's go 2 more. And now we'll hold this leg up, taking that reverse slightly to the back, and then exhale as it comes to the side. So on this one, yes, you're gonna feel more of the upper, middle, lower glutes firing up. That's great. I wanna make sure we get everything here in Pilates. So yes, we're gonna get those glutes as well. Oh my gosh, that leg. If it feels like it's about to fall off, just know you're not alone and you're doing it correctly. And now let's hold this leg to the side. I want you to hold it to a hover, flex that foot, and now reach out to that leg. Reach, reach, reach. Supporting side is gonna lift it up. So that means that shoulder is gonna drop, that leg is gonna reach. And you're gonna breathe out every time. Let's go for 4, 3, ooh, 2. And now point those toes, press that leg to the front corner of the mat and then to the back corner of the mat. Exhaling as you move. Focusing again on making sure those hips don't move with that leg. We are still continuing to work with that isolation. 2 more. And now bring that leg to the side, flex and reach it out to the very end. Maybe starting to get a little bit more height here, but only because we are reaching so long with that leg that it starts to lift up, taking away the bend in that knee by thinking about stretching from behind that leg. Yes. Finish with the tallest, proudest posture you can have. Final 4, 3. Can you hold it at the top? Hold, hold, hold. And drop it down. Oh yeah, give it a little tap. Come on up. Big stretch up and over. And then bring it all the way around. Give that leg a hug. Okay, we're gonna finish in those glutes in that core. Come on around with me. Hands, knees. Okay, so hands with your shoulders and knees underneath your hips. We're gonna go ahead and bring one leg up and we're gonna hold it there. So that knee is down, toes up towards the ceiling, ribs, abs are in, and then you're gonna start to squeeze through that seat. Just like before when we were on the side of our seat, we wanna make sure that we're working from that seat by thinking about resistance. If my hand was on the seat, I'm slightly pressing against that seat to lift up. Notice I didn't say the leg, so you don't wanna lift from that leg. You wanna feel that resistance from the top of that seat. Yes, like I'm there, I have my hand lightly right on that seat and you're pressing up against it. That's the kind of resistance you want to feel for 4, 3, 2. From here, we're going to drop it to our supporting elbow, extend, and then lift and pulse. Drop, reach, lift, pulse. Notice as we drop to our elbow, that leg turns out. And then as we come up, it goes parallel and then pulses from there. It's that reach and then the lift. Press it away and lift. 2 more. Ooh. And now hold it here. You can drop the leg to hip height and then lift back up. From there, reaching from the seat or squeezing from the seat, reaching from the leg. Still all about that length for 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, you're gonna drop it to both elbows, which means you're gonna rotate those shoulders down, hold this leg up at your highest point, and then just squeeze the seat from there, little lift. Lift. Notice you can barely see that leg moving because I'm really working from the glutes rather than from the thigh. Right? No up and down movement. It's that reach and that seat engagement, as well as that core, of course. Always up and in with that navel, revving up that breath for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold that leg up, coming back up to hands and knees, and pulse from there. Lift, 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 lift. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, for 4, 3, 2, you made it. Come on down. Send that seat back, arms forward, then roll it up, shake it on out. Beautiful. We've got the same thing other side. Coming around, lifting up and in through that core so there's no arching that lower back. So if you had a cup of tea, you could place it on your lower back and it wouldn't spill. And now you want to keep that same activity, which means you have to re-engage that center as that leg lifts and then squeeze from that seat. Now think about bringing your weight a little bit more into that outside hand, just so you know you're not leaning to that supporting side. So important here, we're not trying to create any extra bulk on the side, that supporting side. I want you to create strength, inner strength. So you're working from that center, especially if you have your weight correctly into both hands. No leaning here, I want you to use your core instead. Ooh. Your neck is long, so you're looking just past the front edge of your mat, about 2 inches. Let's go for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Drop it to our elbow. We're gonna turn out and reach this leg up, and then bring it back to that parallel position and squeeze that seat. Reach, reach, reach. Bring that hand down and lift. Exhale. And again, a big deep breath out to pulse that leg up. It's like you're pressing your toes through the ceiling as you come up to both hands. Get that turned out position. So an easy way to really fire up your seat is when you extend, to think about reaching towards that opposite shoulder. Yes, we're in our last 2. And lift. And from here, you're gonna hold. We're gonna bring this leg up and down. So hip height and then ceiling. Keep those shoulders away from those ears. You're pressing that leg up, not from the thigh. Again, from that seat. Feeling resistance at the top of your seat to lift up. Imagine you're resisting against your hand on your seat for 4, 3, 2, hold it up at the highest point, drop it to both elbows, keep that neck long, squeeze from there, little lift. Squeeze, 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 reaching from those toes. Last 8, 7, 6, 5, go for 4, 3, 2, hold, coming back up to both hands, bring that leg to hip height, reach from those toes. Woo! You got this for your final 4, 3, 2, 1. Send that seat back, reach those arms forward. Beautiful, roll it on up. Let's come on around, back to our seated position to finish. We keep our hands underneath our legs, lift, lift, lift. You're gonna press one leg up and then tap. Exhale from that center. If this is too much, coming all the way down on your mat, and then floating your leg up from one leg to the other in that tabletop position from there. Otherwise, you're staying with me. Crown of your head is reaching to the ceiling. Core is pressing in as that leg floats up. Maybe you start to bring those arms out in front of you. So you're going to take this last exercise, just like how we've taken every exercise, at your own level, listening to your body, taking the option that feels best for you today. Yes. And now from here, we have the option to continue just like as we were, or by pressing those legs in and down, off of the mat. You can drop it to your elbows. You can come down onto the mat, back flat, head, shoulders down. Again, just floating both legs up and down. Otherwise, here we are, full challenge. Pressing slightly away from those legs and then lifting towards those legs. As they come on up, back to tabletop for 4. Go 3. Go 2. And now hold. Place those hands with those legs. Lift up a little bit taller if you're with me. You're going to bring one arm up. You're going to bring the other arm up. We're going to hold. Maybe reach those legs out. Go for 4, 3, 2. We did it. Ooh, so good. Meet me in the center. Bring those legs to that comfortable place. Lift up nice and tall. Circle it out. Circle around the other way. And then place those hands together. Close those eyes. Big inhale, big exhale. Once again, inhale and exhale, hands over your heart. Final inhale and exhale. Let it go. You made it. Make sure you keep on stretching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.